I just wanted to make this short video on a topic that is highly debated. But essentially, what is art, right? And here are my thoughts on what quote unquote art is. First of all, I know that nobody really cares what I think. I'm irrelevant, and that's fine. I just wanted to nevertheless record my thoughts because I have this desire to pass down a part of myself, is preserve it somewhere. So it's for my own benefit, not for anyone else's. Anyways, here are my thoughts on what art is. I think art is a form of self-expression, any form of self-expression, but it is a form of self-expression that is easily understood by the general populace. So for me, when I see people define art as any form of self-expression, I think the average person would be inclined to disagree. Like, for example, if there is a picture drawn by a small child and it's very cruelly drawn and has stick figures and it might have the house and a smiley sun, I think everyone would agree that it's a form of the child expressing itself, right? But most people will not call it art, and here's why. Yes, it's a form of self-expression, but you're not going to clearly understand or connect to it on an emotional level as opposed to something else. And I think that's where art is separated from just mere self-expression. If any form of self-expression is art, then everything is art. And it kind of loses the importance of having a word that that's supposed to define something else, right? It has the same definition. You can't have two words with the same definition. I mean, you can, but I'm saying it's redundant, right? So art clearly implies something else. When you ask someone else, what is art? They might have different opinions, but they know that it's not something that anyone can do. And here's why. It takes a certain amount of mastery in a craft to be able to produce something where someone can consume it and understand what you're trying to express. So, for example, for drawing, right? It takes a certain level of mastery to draw something that can convey a lot of depth, a lot of nuance, and have an emotional impact on somebody else. So you need to be pretty good at drawing, but more than that, you have to have a certain degree of self-awareness, so you know what you're trying to express, and you have a knowledge of how someone else may perceive what you're drawing. So there's a certain level of awareness for yourself and for society at large, and then you're employing a medium such as drawing or painting or whatever it is to convey whatever it is that you wanted to express. It's the same for music. Anyone can hit some pots and pans, make some crude noise, and call it music, right? But it's not art. It has to be refined to a certain degree where someone can easily understand what you're trying to convey. And I'm gonna be honest, I had a friend, and the three of us made a pretty crappy album. It was a form of self-expression, all right? But I would not call it art. I would not call it real music because it was pretty bad, and thankfully I don't think it will ever see the light of day. But I had a lot of fun making it. It was a lot of good memories, and to me, I understand what it was trying to convey. It was just three friends having fun. But if I showed it to someone else, they wouldn't get that. They would be like, "Oh, my ears! How dare you play this offensive garbage?" But yeah, that's the whole point. So it's a form of self-expression that's easily understood. So again, a child drawing a crude drawing versus someone who studied art, whatever it is, sculpture, painting, drawing, music, whatever it is. They're aware of what they want to express, and they're aware of how others may perceive it. So a person has to have a certain degree of mastery over their craft, as well as understanding themselves and society at large. And so for me, what this means is that art, what would be considered art, changes as society changes. So I think that's why we have some difficulty in defining what art is. For example, paintings. I think most of the world, or maybe most of the world that I'm familiar with, like in the United States, people do not have the patience to sit in front of a painting and study it. It's not like how it used to be back then, where painting galleries were pretty popular. People would go look at it. I mean, people still go to art museums, right? But it's not as common as it used to be. I think the average person would gain nothing from a painting, right? So it has a high level of craftsmanship, but I don't think people would understand what the painter is trying to express anymore because they lack the patience thanks to freaking TikTok and short form content, and these kids are consuming that and growing up without the ability to pay attention to anything for a long amount of time. So as those kids grow up, I don't think they're going to look at all of these classical paintings and consider it art. I think they'll be able to see that it takes a high level of skill, but they no longer understand it as a form of self-expression. So it's kind of lacking that. So I think as society changes, as it evolves, I think what it considers art would also change, because again, it's a form of self-expression that is easily understood. So it's pretty much it. I think I had some few more examples in mind, but it's slipping my thoughts right now. I am getting old. I'm having difficulty collecting my thoughts. Anyways, that's gonna be it. I know no one cares, but yeah, I'm interested in what y'all think art is. No one really listens to most of my videos, but yeah, let me know in the comments below. I would love to see what y'all think. I think my definition is pretty solid. I think it's pretty solid. It's the same for movies and video games. So quick aside here, are video games art? I definitely think they are, because not all games, obviously. Some are made just to milk money out of you. That's another topic I can go into, but a lot of them that impacted kids were a form of self-expression, and we understood it. That's why it impacted us so heavily as we're growing up playing these games. Like it left an emotional effect. We had an emotional response to it, and we remember it, fondly. It could be different for different people, but yeah, I think games are definitely art. Not all games are art though, and I think some Marvel films could be considered art as well. I disagree with Scorsese, because it's about how the person watching it perceives it. It's all about that. So if enough people watch those films and they connect with it on some sort of level, then it is art. So that's it. I know it's kind of hard to follow my thinking, but I just wanted to make an unscripted video, and that's gonna be it. Well, I don't know who's gonna listen to this, but thank you if you do. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time.